Robinson Crusoe. Robinson Crusoe was born in the city of York in England. His father, a middle-class man, wanted Robinson to pursue a stable life and follow in his footsteps as a lawyer. However, young Robinson was restless and dreamt of the sea. Despite his father's warnings and pleas to stay home and avoid the dangers of a sailor's life, Robinson was determined to seek adventure. At the age of 18, against his family's wishes, Robinson set sail on his first voyage. The sea called to him with the promise of excitement and fortune. However, his first experience at sea was disastrous. His ship encountered a terrible storm, and Robinson barely survived. Despite this near-death experience, his desire for adventure was only intensified. Over the next few years, Robinson took several more voyages, each filled with its own challenges. He traveled to distant lands, traded goods, and experienced the ups and downs of a sailor's life. It was on one such journey, destined for Africa, that Robinson's fate would take a dramatic turn. The ship he was on was captured by pirates, and Robinson was taken as a slave to the African coast. After years of enslavement, he managed to escape and found himself on a Portuguese ship bound for Brazil. In Brazil, Robinson Crusoe started a new life as a plantation owner. He found some success in this endeavor, but his longing for adventure remained. It wasn't long before he decided to embark on yet another journey, this time, a trading expedition to Africa. But fate had other plans for Robinson. During the voyage, a violent storm struck, throwing the ship off course. The ship was wrecked on a deserted island somewhere in the Caribbean. Robinson was the sole survivor. Stranded and alone, he salvaged what he could from the wreckage: tools, weapons, and supplies. With no hope of rescue in sight, Robinson realized he had to rely on his wits and resources to survive. Robinson began by building a shelter using the tools he had saved. He explored the island, discovered its resources, and learned to hunt, fish, and farm. Though the isolation was hard to bear, Robinson kept himself busy with the daily tasks of survival. Over time, he became more self-sufficient, even managing to create a small farm to grow food. Despite his efforts, Robinson was plagued by loneliness and the fear that he would never see another human being again. He kept a journal to record his thoughts and experiences, finding some solace in the act of writing. As days turned into months, and months into years, Robinson's life on the island became routine. Yet, the hope of rescue never left his heart. After many years on the island, Robinson Crusoe had settled into a life of routine and survival. He had made the island his home, and though he longed for human company, he had accepted his fate. That is until one day when he made a startling discovery. While walking along the shore, Robinson found a single set of footprints in the sand. They were not his own. This discovery filled him with both hope and fear, hope that he might finally have found another human being, and fear of who or what that person might be. He immediately set to work fortifying his shelter and preparing defenses, unsure if the visitor would be friend or foe. Robinson spent the next several days in a state of heightened alertness, constantly on the lookout for any sign of the mysterious visitor. His mind raced with possibilities. Perhaps it was a shipwrecked sailor like himself, or perhaps it was a dangerous native from a nearby island. The uncertainty was unbearable. Eventually, Robinson's worst fears were confirmed. He observed from a distance as a group of native cannibals arrived on the island. They had come to the island for a ritual, bringing prisoners with them. Robinson watched in horror as they prepared to sacrifice and eat one of their captives. He knew he had to act, but he also knew that doing so would put his own life at risk. Despite the danger, Robinson Crusoe could not stand by and watch the atrocity unfold. He devised a plan to rescue the prisoner. Armed with his musket and driven by a sense of justice, Robinson attacked the cannibals, catching them by surprise. In the chaos, he managed to save one of the prisoners, who he later learned was named Friday. Grateful for his life, Friday became Robinson's loyal companion. He taught Friday English, and in return, Friday taught Robinson about his culture and survival skills. The two formed a strong bond, and for the first time in years, Robinson felt the comfort of human companionship. Friday told Robinson about his people and how he had been captured by a rival tribe. With Friday's help, Robinson began to develop a plan to escape the island. They constructed a small boat using the resources available on the island, preparing for the day when they could leave this place behind. As Robinson and Friday worked together, they faced numerous challenges, storms, hunger, and the ever-present threat of the cannibals. But their friendship grew stronger with each obstacle, and Robinson found new hope in their shared mission. Robinson Crusoe and Friday continued to prepare for their escape from the island. They spent weeks gathering supplies, reinforcing their boat, and planning their route. The day finally came when they were ready to set sail. As they embarked on their journey, Robinson felt a mix of emotions, relief at the prospect of returning to civilization, but also sadness at leaving behind the island that had been his home for so many years. The voyage was perilous, with rough seas and unpredictable weather, but Robinson and Friday were determined to reach safety. After several days at sea, they encountered a European ship. The captain, intrigued by Robinson's story, agreed to take them aboard. Robinson was finally rescued after spending 28 years on the island. He and Friday were brought back to England, where Robinson was reunited with his family. Robinson's return to England was bittersweet. He was grateful to be back, but he could never forget the years he had spent on the island, the lessons he had learned, and the bond he had formed with Friday. Robinson Crusoe's tale became legendary, a story of survival, resilience, and the human spirit's ability to overcome even the most daunting challenges.